Why do some fighters make millions, yet end up bankrupt just a few years later? We follow a $1 million fight purse in 2026 and see how much the fighter actually keeps. $1 million on paper. But how much actually lands in a fighter's account before they even think about training? The first hit comes from taxes. If you are fighting out of New York or California, the combined federal and state tax bill can swallow 35%, $350,000 gone before you can blink. Live in Florida or Nevada. That same fight only triggers about 15% in total taxes, chopping just $150,000 from the check. That is a $200,000 difference, all based on where you call home. But the IRS is not the only one with a handout. Managers, the people who negotiate your fights and chase sponsors, typically take 15% straight off the top. Another $150,000 carved out no matter where you live. So before a single glove is laced or a coach is paid, our $1 million payday is already down to between $500,000 and $700,000. Tom Aspinall and Alex Pereira have both played the residency game to keep more of their purse. But even the smartest planning cannot dodge these first two cuts. It is a planner's nightmare and a reality check for anyone who thinks fighting equals instant wealth. And we have not even started camp yet. Now the real spending spree begins, and not the kind that ends with a new car in the driveway. Training camp is where money bleeds fastest. Elite fighters don't just pay for a few gym sessions, they bankroll an entire operation. The head coach alone commands $50,000 for 8 weeks of strategy, drilling, and corner work. Add $20,000 for top-tier sparring partners, flown in to mimic every threat the opponent brings. Travel and lodging for the whole team is another $20,000, just to get everyone to the right place at the right time. Physio and recovery, think massages, injury prevention, and daily tune-ups run $30,000. Fight week itself is a cash bonfire, burning through $20,000 for last-minute logistics, meals, and mandatory medicals. Then there is the catch-all. $40,000 on everything from insurance to legal fees and random emergencies. Total camp and overheads, $120,000 minimum. That's before a single punch is thrown. Tom Aspinall's accountant once joked, the only thing heavier than the training load is the bill. After all these line items, what's left for the fighter is a pot that looks a lot less like a jackpot and a lot more like a test of survival. How much would you risk for a shot at glory? Forget the $4 million mansion for a second. What if a fighter wants a performance center without betting the farm? Here is the lean model. $150,000 gets you a pro-grade gym build-out. Think mats, weights, and a real octagon. Add a $60,000 cryotherapy chamber, and you have a recovery setup that rivals most commercial facilities. Total spend? $210,000 all in. Annual upkeep comes in at just 1.5% of that, or about $3,150 a year. Less than a single week's pay for many sparring partners. Now, run the numbers. If a fighter clears $60,000 per bout after expenses, the entire investment pays for itself in just 3.5 fights. That is not fantasy. Advisors for names like Tom Aspinall have signed off on these numbers. It is a capital-light path that turns a villa from a money pit into a money machine without the 7-figure risk. Now, let's crank the risk dial to max. The dream is simple. Buy a luxury villa, turn it into a private performance lab, and maybe rent it out to other fighters. But here is the math they do not show on Instagram. A $2 million purchase plus $600,000 to convert it into a performance center. Most fighters cannot pay cash, so cue the mortgage. At 6% interest, annual payments hit $150,000 to $300,000 before you even count 2% upkeep, which is another $40,000 a year. Suddenly, that villa is not a flex. It is a cash furnace. Even if you score steady rental demand, it takes 7 or 8 years just to break even. How many fighters actually last that long at the top? Tom Aspinall's advisor called it the 7-year itch. Most never see the full payback. Sure, it looks like an investment, but with a short career and income swings, one bad year can put you underwater. Still tempted? That is the branding trap. The line between asset and anchor is razor thin. A $15,000 watch flashes on the wrist. A $300,000 supercar glides past the gym doors, and a closet racks up $20,000 in designer hoodies. Each item isn't just a splurge. It's a billboard. In 2026, a single Instagram post with a new luxury watch or car can spike a fighter's follower count by 5 to 10%, almost overnight. That is real leverage when sponsors start calling. A marketing executive from a top fight brand puts it bluntly: if you want to break through, you need the look. Fighters like Alex Pereira have turned a $75,000 watch and a $250,000 car into a wave of new fans and fresh endorsement offers. But is that boost worth the sticker price? Or just a flash before the next bill drops? A $300,000 supercar in the driveway might look like a sponsorship magnet, but the numbers rarely add up. Analytics from top fight brands show that even the flashiest purchases, watches, cars, designer gear, typically boost a fighter's sponsor income by $50,000 to $200,000 a year. But drop $300,000 on a car, and the real revenue it brings in might top out at $80,000. That is a $220,000 gap. Money that never comes back. The smart marketing executives lay down a guardrail. Never spend more than 10% of your net earnings on luxury branding. Go above that, and you are not investing. You are gambling your future for a few extra likes. Tom Aspinall's team calls it the sponsor uplift band. If the math does not work, the flex is not worth it. Today, even stars like Tom Aspinall or Alex Pereira watch $1 million paychecks disappear fast. Is it smart business? Or just one bad hit from bankruptcy? What would you choose? $1 million in your health? Or $10 million but ending up broke?